I literally almost said Annie Murphy because that's the actress in Schitt's Creek. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to sit down and spill some tea with all of you today. We are doing a good old-fashioned Q&A. We've got some just like fun, lighthearted questions, some heavy emotional questions. We've got some tea questions. So get ready, buckle up. We got a lot to cover. If you ever want to be involved in asking questions for the Q&A, potentially get your question answered, then definitely make sure to follow me on all my social media, all of it, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's all always linked in the description box below. Typically for Q&As, I get my questions from Twitter and from my Patreon, patreon.com/MollyBurke, if you're ever interested in joining the private club over there. I also want to say a huge shout out, big thank you to Casetify for sponsoring this video. Casetify allows you to have the best of both worlds, protection and style. Their cases are customizable, so you can get things like cute monograms, your name written on it, like my mom and I have done with ours. Hers says Neve on the back, which is her name. Mine has MBs checkered all over it, which I think is super cute, and I love the way the black and white looks against my red phone. Their cases are super, super high protection. So if you drop your phone a lot, like my mom does,
yes, and I do,
these are really good cases for you. Their cases are drop tested up to 6.6 foot falls, so that's pretty high. Their impact cases have 2 layers of Chi technology to keep it super protective. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good. Their cases are partially made of recycled plastic and have an antimicrobial coating on them, which kills up to 99% of bacteria. Head to casetify.com/MollyBurke to get 20% off your purchase. Okay, let's get into the questions. Now, I'm gonna give a little trigger warning for this first question here. If talking about like weight, diet, eating, mental health, if any of that is triggering for you, please skip to question number 2, which is this time code right here that my editor will pop on the screen because I don't know what time it'll be. Yellow Rose Stems asked if I've ever struggled with an eating disorder. She mentioned that, you know, I've talked about how at a certain time in my life I lost my period because of my weight loss and things like that. And no, I have never struggled with an eating disorder. That said, my depression and my anxiety both trigger trouble with eating. You know, a lot of people are emotional eaters. You hear a lot of people talk about that, like when they get really emotional, they eat a lot. I fall into the opposite category. When I get really emotional, I really struggle to eat. I desperately want to eat, but I really struggle to eat. Typically with my depression, which is when I ended up losing my period, I am just like not hungry at all. I just have no appetite. So it's hard to get food in when you have 0 appetite. And then on the other hand, when I'm struggling with my anxiety, which is what I've struggled with more so over the past kind of 8 years, I haven't really struggled with bad depression for a very long time now, but when I struggle with my anxiety, when it flares up, I get really bad nausea. That is one of my symptoms of my generalized anxiety. I get just very, very severe nausea. So I struggle to eat at that point as well. And then I've also had irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, since I was very, very young. My mom does as well. It just runs in the family. We're very sensitive to food. If it ever flares up, my IBS, then I struggle to eat. So I just have a lot of things that cause me to struggle to eat. And believe me when I say, like, I desperately want to eat. I really hate not being able to eat. And if your mental health impacts your ability to eat as well, or a physical health issue impacts your ability to eat, like, I'm sure you understand. My mom can attest to the fact that, like, when my anxiety gets really bad, that is my number one concern, and it is my number one priority, is how can I get enough nutrition into me and not lose too much weight. That's a big part of, like, my recovery with my anxiety, is figuring out like how I can eat and keep nutrition in my body and not risk losing too much weight. So no, I've never had it, but I would say like my mental health causes disordered eating that has nothing to do with body image. It's simply like I just struggle to eat because I'm so emotional. Jen Tense asked if I'm eligible for the vaccine. So right now we are looking into when I can get my vaccine. We believe that I will fall into a high-risk category, not just because of my blindness, but because of a blood clotting condition I have. I have low protein S in my liver, which causes me to clot more easily. So I am at high risk for blood clots. It's something I always have to be aware of. I'm always having to think about anytime I enter the hospital for any reason. I always have to make sure to let them know. Yeah, I've like been in the hospital and they've had to give me like blood clot, blood thinners, shots in my stomach, because they just like, if there's any like concern I might have a blood clot, it's just a big thing. I'm supposed to take like a anti-blood clotting medication if I'm on really long airplane flights. I'm supposed to wear like these custom-made socks that stop my blood from clotting on long-haul flights. So it's definitely a thing, and it stops me from being able to take certain medications, yada, yada, yada. And so the thing that is killing most young people with COVID is blood clots. And so due to the fact that I'm already high risk for blood clots, if I did get COVID, I would be at a higher risk to die from it. So because of that, and because of the fact that like I'm blind and therefore I A, touch more things than most people, and B, need more physical help from other people, making it harder to socially distance, we believe that I will be eligible to get the vaccine earlier than my age category, which is, 20s. Kate Omega asked how I explain my disability to people who don't believe me. Hi, Kate. I see you on my Twitter all the time. Thanks for being such a solid supporter. I'm lucky in that I can kind of just be like, Google my name. I don't say that often, but if somebody's like really pushing back on me and being like really rude, I'll just kind of be like, look, it's not my job to like explain this to you. I'm not wasting any more of my breath. Like if you're super concerned about me, like you can just Google my name and you will find plenty of information. So I know that's not something that most people can do, but obviously there's like an abundance of information about me, my story, my condition, yada yada. And so usually, if somebody doesn't believe me and I'm just like over trying to explain it to them, I'll just tell them to Google it. Holly Gherkin asked for an update on when I'll be getting my new guide dog. That video has already gone live, so check out my guide dog announcement video. I also have a fundraiser going where you can help name a future guide dog, so I will link that GoFundMe down below for you to contribute. Shania asked what a dream job opportunity is and what a nightmare opportunity I've had that I wish I had turned down. Probably the most negative experience I can think of was just a brand that really like wanted it their way and was unwilling to bend. So I probably sent them like 50 video concepts, and that is not normal. Usually I send 3, max 4 concepts for them to pick from. And this brand, I literally sent over 50 concepts. It was an absolute nightmare, and they kept pitching concepts back to me, and I was like, no, that's not a YouTube video. Like they had never worked with a YouTuber before. And I think that's the biggest lesson I learned is like if a brand hasn't really worked with YouTubers before or social media content creators, it's going to be a really big struggle because they've only worked in traditional media with big marketing firms. And it's very different than working with a content creator. And it got to the point where like I pitched a concept and they told me like, we don't believe that would resonate with your audience. And that's very frustrating because they're my audience. I know you guys. I get you guys. I understand you guys. And for them to tell me like, oh, we don't think that'll work for your audience is just so, I don't know, demeaning. And like, I think that's just rude. And so finally I like gave in and just went with one of their concepts to just like get it done. And as I warned them, the video didn't perform very well. And then I went ahead and did that other video concept that they told me wasn't gonna work for my audience. And it got over 1 million views in a month. So I was like, guess I know my audience. And a dream opportunity would probably be anything in the beauty and fashion industry. That's just like the industry I just love so much. Like I love beauty and fashion, and disabled voices are rarely heard or seen in that space. So any opportunity like that, like I loved working with Madewell, I loved working with Aerie. I'm sure I'm blanking on other brands right now, but any opportunity like that is definitely a dream. Jennifer Evans asked if I've ever considered trying a styling box or service on my channel like Petite Ave or Stitch Fix or any of those, and I haven't really, but if it's something you guys would be interested in, please comment down below and let me know, and specifically let me know like what boxes. I could maybe do like one video comparing 2 different boxes. Could be fun to do them like based on like boxes that cater to petite women. I don't know, let me know, comment, and if you see somebody who's commented a box you think I should do, give it a thumbs up so I can see it. Sierra Nicole asked what kind of camera I use for filming, and I actually use a Samsung phone. I use the Samsung Note, and you guys are currently being filmed on the Samsung Note 10, but I just got a new one, which we're gonna set up soon. Is it here, Mom? Yeah. But this one's a little old. I've been using it for 2 years now, and I film every single YouTube video on it and take all of my Instagram photos on it, so it gets a lot of content shooting. So we just picked up a new one, which is the latest Note. What is it called?
Note 25G.
The Note 25G. So yes, I film all my content on a smartphone. Specifically Samsung phones. I find Samsung phones personally the best for photos and for video. And don't let feeling like you need like super specialized equipment stop you from creating content, because this is my full-time job and I make it all on a smartphone. There's no microphone, like no special microphone, nothing, no special lenses. It's just a smartphone, and a lot of people these days have a smartphone. You can use window lighting, you can prop it up. You can buy a tripod for $20 on Amazon with a little adapter for a phone to put on top. Like, you can really make great content on a budget with what you have at home. So don't be discouraged thinking you need an amazing setup. Sophie asked what my next hair color is, and I have big plans that I've been working towards for a long time now, but I'm not going to spoil it. So all I'm going to say is it requires me to be very blonde. So the blonde journey continues for a while longer. Dark Pixie Gaming asked genuinely, how am I? Which I thought was a really nice question, because a lot of you guys know I've been struggling with my mental health for the last little while, and honestly, I'm in a really good place, and I know a lot of you have seen that. You've noticed my energy shift, and yeah, I'm just doing much better, and I'm really working on a lot of self-care, and that's been really great for my mental health. And it really pays to be proactive in your mental health if you feel yourself spiraling. And for me, like, I really seriously cannot tell you the difference that simply putting on makeup, doing my hair, and putting on a nice outfit every day has made to my life. I know that sounds silly, but I talked about it a bunch in this video over here, trying to find myself again. It seriously has been a game changer. Hasn't it been night and day, Mom?
Yes, and night and day. Night and day.
Like, every day I get up and I don't put on sweatpants, I don't put on a hoodie, I don't put on leggings, I don't stay in my onesie. I put on a nice outfit. Like today I'm wearing a bodysuit and like cute flowy pants and little my little Madewell slides, and like I just feel put together. I feel cute, and it makes me feel more productive. It makes me feel more awake. It makes me feel more creatively inspired. It makes me feel more excited. Even though I'm not leaving my house and nobody is seeing this outfit, I feel so much better. And obviously my mental health and my self-care, there's a whole lot more that's gone into it than just that, but genuinely making that commitment in 2021 to wearing a proper outfit more days of the week than I wear sweatpants, I'm shocked by the shift it's made. Ori from my Patreon, hi Ori and the bunnies, asked if I have suffered any injuries post going blind, and honestly I would say pretty much any injury I've had in my entire life has been a direct result of being blind. Like, whether it was when I was 4 years old or whether it was when I was 24 years old, every major bad accident I've had that's required stitches or that's required, you know, a walking cast or whatever, like all of them have been pretty much because I'm blind. I literally almost said Annie Murphy because that's the actress in Schitt's Creek. So Annie Ruth from my Patreon asked what my favorite movies and TV shows are and if I watch them with audio description. Recently, my favorite show was Schitt's Creek. I binged the whole thing. I'm obsessed. I'm devastated that it's over. I think that was like a cultural phenomenon, like just so incredible. Dan and Eugene Levy are like unreal. I'm just in awe. Amazing. Definitely recommend Schitt's Creek. So funny. Can't speak highly enough of all the actors in it. Very talented. That did not have audio description, unfortunately, but the comedy isn't visual. The comedy is so much about how they're saying things that I could watch it on my own without audio description, no problem. And another show I find that to be true with is Friends. I have never had a problem watching Friends without audio description because I find a lot of the humor is just verbal. Of course, there's definitely some visual humor, but I've watched it enough at this point, and sometimes with sighted people, that I kind of like see the whole thing in my head. So those are my two favorite shows of all time, Friends and Schitt's Creek. I also really loved Grey's Anatomy. That's a really good show. Law and Order SVU is a really good show. I love like Dateline Mystery or 2020. Super nerdy, but I really love that stuff. Yeah, those are some of my favorites, and I love any like true crime documentary or special that Netflix does. And Netflix, all of their original content has audio description. So like I really enjoyed 13 Reasons Why. I really enjoyed Orange is the New Black. And like I said, all of their crime specials I've really loved. If it has audio description, I absolutely watch it with audio description. And it's very unlikely, frankly, that I will enjoy something if it doesn't have audio description. Linda from my Patreon asked if I would ever consider doing a collab with a beauty company to make like accessible beauty products. That would absolutely be probably like my number one dream, if not like tied for number one. I would adore the opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of beauty brands have overlooked me. We've been very close to working with a lot of beauty companies, and then they just dropped me last minute. We've had beauty companies say they wouldn't work with me because I'm not a makeup artist, things like that, which is obviously frustrating because I feel like, no, I'm not a makeup artist, and no, I maybe can't do makeup perfectly, but there's a lot more I can add to the conversation of beauty and to the beauty industry as a whole than simply like how I can make up my own face. So I would love to find a beauty company that would want to work with me and like have my insights shared with them. To make beauty more accessible for everyone. I did a video with Allure, this one over here, about accessible packaging design from my perspective and opinion. So I'll have that linked below if you want to check it out. I've had really, really great response from that, and a lot of companies have reached out to have me consult on packaging design, which has been really, really cool and feels really rewarding. I'm just really grateful that Allure, as the biggest beauty magazine in the world, who literally holds like the best of beauty contest every year, they've made so much content with me over the past 2 years, and they really believe in me. And I couldn't be more grateful, because if a huge media outlet within the beauty industry believes in me, I've got to believe that at some point a beauty brand themselves will believe in me. So fingers crossed for one day. Anyways, that is the last question. Thank you guys for all of your questions. I'm sorry I couldn't answer all of them, but maybe next time. Like I said, just make sure to follow me on all my other social media platforms. And of course, head over to casetify.com/MollyBurke for 20% off your purchase of a highly protective and cute and stylish phone case. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're aware of every time that I upload. If you want some more Molly, you can click over here for the last video I did, and over here for the Trying to Find Myself video. Okay, love you guys.